video. This video is wholly based on a great scientist Albert Einstein. So as we know, Albert Einstein is a very famous scientist who found out the formula which is equal to mc square and known for many other things. So let us learn about this new scientist of which led us to new inventions of physics and many more things. He helped us in many formulas of physics, maths, and many more things. So let us learn about this greatly scientist and move on to his personal life. So his birthplace is is a place name where Albert was born. Is a city name in the federal German state of Baden, situated in the river Danube. His early life. If I talk about his early life, the Einsteins were the non-observant Jewish, and Albert attended a Catholic elementary school in Munich from the age of 5 for 3 years. The 12-year-old Einstein taught himself the algebra and Euclidean geometry over a single summer. Can you imagine a child who is just 12 years old can learn the Euclidean geometry in just one summer, and algebra, and that also by himself? Einstein also independently discovered that his own original proof of Pythagorean theorem. So here what the old Einstein, 12-year-old Einstein did in his early years. So if I tell his early years, he was, the Einsteins were the non-observant Jewish, and the Albert Einstein attended a Catholic elementary school in Munich for something about when he was 5, and he attended that school for 3 years. And when this old little boy of 12 years, he learned algebra and Euclidean geometry over a single summer, and that also by himself. And he also proved the original proof of Pythagorean theorem, the discovery. Einstein also independently discovered the original proof of Pythagorean theorem. At the age of 13, at the small age of 13, inspired age of 13, what we do? We usually made a life for betterment. For example, we study more, or for more interesting things we play games. But in this early age, Einstein had become more seriously interested in philosophy. Einstein started teaching himself calculus at 12, and at the year of 14, he said he is a master in integral and differential calculus. Isn't it amazing that if our in our generation, we in 13 do a lot of things which is in our capabilities. For example, study more for our exams, but at his early age, he's studying calculus by himself, and in just the early age of 14, he got a master in integral and differential calculus. This is a very good thing about Albert Einstein. Family of Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein family, which were consisting of 3 members, and the 3 members are Hermann Einstein, Albert's father. Actually not 3 members, but the 3 main members, which is very easy to find out, are Hermann Einstein, which is his father, Pauline Koch, which is Albert's mother, and Maria or Martha Einstein, Albert's younger sister. Hermann Einstein, Albert's father. Hermann Einstein, also known as Hermann Moos, was born in Baku Kingdom of Württemberg to Abraham Einstein and Helen Moos. So his father and mother he was born to this kingdom, Buchau Kingdom, to Abraham Einstein and Helen Moos. So Pauline Koch, Albert's mother. Pauline Koch. So she was born in 8 February 1858 to 20 February 1920. was the mother of physicist Albert Einstein. She was born in the Catholic Kingdom, Cannstatt Kingdom. Maria or Martha Einstein, Albert's younger sister. Maria Einstein, born on 18 November 1881 to 25 June 1951. Her older brother was Albert, with the two children of Hermann Einstein and Paul Einstein, who had moved from Ulm to Munich in June 1881 when Albert was 1. So her older brother is Albert. They are the two children of Hermann Einstein and Paul Koch. So they moved from Ulm to Munich in June 1881 when she was born and when Albert was just 1. Wives of Albert Einstein. So wives of Einstein. So Albert Einstein had 2 wives. The Alberts had 2 wives. They were Melba Marek, 1875 to 1948. She was a physics. Elsa Einstein, 1876 to 1936. First cousin of Albert Einstein. Children of Einstein. So the children of Einstein were Albert Einstein had 3 children. So they are Lisbeth Einstein, 1902 to 1903. Hans Albert Einstein, who was 1904 to 1973. Edward Einstein, 1910 to 1965. They are the children of Albert Einstein and Melba Marek. But Elsa Einstein and Albert Einstein do not have any wife. Remember that Melba Marek was the first wife and Elsa was the second wife. So when Albert Einstein and Melba was divorced, so Elsa married Albert Einstein and they didn't have any child, fortunately. About their children, Lisbeth Einstein, born in 27 January, date of death unknown, was the first child of Melba Marek and Albert Einstein. Hans Albert Einstein, so May 14, 1994 to July 26, 1973, was a Swiss-American engineer and educated second child and the first son of Albert Einstein and Melba Marek. Edward Einstein, 28 July 1910 to 25 October 1965, was born in Zurich, Switzerland, and the second son of physicist Albert Einstein from the first wife of Melba Marek. Albert Einstein and his family moved in Berlin in 1914. So if I say with the children, Lisbeth Einstein, so she actually the first child of Albert Einstein and Melba Marek, and Hans Albert Einstein, he was the first son and second child of Melba Marek and Albert Einstein. And the last was Edward Einstein, who was born in Zurich, Switzerland, and he was the second son of Albert Einstein and the third child of Albert Einstein. So he was the first, he was the son of Albert Einstein and Melba Marek. And when he was born, the family of Albert Einstein and his family moved on to Berlin in 1914. As a professor, Albert as a professor. By 1908, he was appointed as a lecturer at University of Bern. So he was appointed as a lecturer. He appointed a lecturer in the University of Bern. The following year, after giving a lecture on electrodynamics, and there he was recommended to be a faculty. Einstein was appointed as associate professor in 1909. So basically in 1908, he actually gave a lecture, and after his lecture, he was actually recommended by that university to be a faculty, and he was appointed as an associate professor in 1909. E equal to mc square, which is a very popular theory of this world. Means found by Albert Einstein, the most popular invention made by Albert Einstein. The special theory of relativity and E equal to mc square that Einstein published in an Alien Physics Scientific Journal in 1905. The above work contributed the substantially to the foundation of the modern physics and changed the view on space, time, and matter. So this is a very controversial foundation by Albert Einstein, which changed the views of space, time, and matter. Other inventions. So Einstein conducted other investigation. So that were unsuccessful and abandoned. These are pertinent to force, superconductivity, and other research. His death. Unfortunately, this great, wonderful scientist had a time when he left us by forever. So, Albert Einstein died on 17 April 1955 due to internal bleeding, abdominal aortic aneurysm. So he died in this thing, and he was buried in Preston, New Jersey. Now the fun fact of this whole thing, if you know, is in the next part of his life. So Albert's brain. So it is believed that Albert Einstein had an IQ of 160. Only 1% of those who sit in a Mensa test, this is a test for IQ, have achieved a maximum mark of average called 100. But a genius test score is generally considered over 140. So it was not a test made by Einstein, but it was believed. It was not a physical test which Einstein made, but it was believed that he had an IQ of 160. But a genius is the one who can score about 140. So this was a Mensa test, which means a test which tell you how much IQ do you have. And Mensa test is a test in which a person, only 1% of the whole thing can achieve 100 marks. And above that, the only persons can achieve is a genius. Albert Einstein had a great brain, so special that when he died, so especially when he died, Preston Hospital on April 18, 1955, the pathologist on the call, Thomas Harvey, stole it. So this brain, if you see the beaker, this is a very special brain because it is believed that it is a brain of scientist Albert Einstein, which have a lot of knowledge. He was a great brain. So what happened? Thomas Harvey stole it. Now it is in the museum, and this is one of the museums where you can find Albert's brain. It's still present. Yes. So Albert Einstein had a great brain, great memory, great IQ. As you can see in his whole life, he just studied on maths, physics, and many more subjects. But in maths, he found out Pythagorean theorem, calculus in just the age of 13, 12, and 14. It's a great scientist who found out the E equal to mc square. You can guess out how good brain he would have. Because if you see, I have the reason why he has a great brain. The reason because his brain cells are more than a normal person. When the scientists who actually discovered why his brain is so special, they discovered that his brain has more brain cells than a normal human. They tested 12 brains against Albert's one brain. So this is an amazing brain which you can see in the picture. So this was the whole video about. Hope you like the video all, and meet you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Bye.